Okay, I'm back with Shea. I've done most of her body, got her neck, her body, her rear done, her tail. Today I'm going to focus on her head, her ears, her muzzle, neckline, and I'm going to use a new tool. And this tool, I'll have to admit, took me a while to become confident in using it and having the guts to use it, and that's my razors. This is not recommended for the person you need to practice and make some mistakes before you get, it took me a while, I'll just say that. The blade that we use on our terriers is the 5FC, and it's good for this type of coat. I only use it on the head, neck, and underside. I do not use it on their body at all. Not recommended. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lift her up on her legs, kind of sit her up. I want to see what I need to do back here, up on her neck. I like for all of this to be smooth, and I leave the muzzle. So that's the first thing that I address. And I have no power. Interesting. I got wet. Alright, got it. So let's back to this. Let's see here. I'm just going to go up, taking off that long hair, and I stop at about where I want her muzzle to begin. I even go ahead and cheat a little bit and take some of this hair off. I'm leaving this ridge line, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to leave that alone because I'll get that with my thinning shears. Now I'm going to go to the top of her head. I flipped it around and very carefully. She's good, she's not moving, but if you have a dog that moves, it might take a while. I just go right to the edge of her head where her neck begins. I don't want to go too far down. You don't want it to appear like you've shaved her. I do her cheeks, around her eyes, inside the ears. Very careful because this will cut them. I start right at about where the eye's in and just go back. Again, I leave a beard and I trim it up with the thinning shears. This dog has a real nice head, so I want her to look nice and smooth on her head. Show it off because she's got a nice head. I do take off a little bit in between the eyes if I can. If this doesn't work, then I'll use the thinning shears. She's doing great. Now the ears, she gets long hair on her ears, on the leather of her ears. So I do use this to some degree. I just kind of go down and I'm going the direction of the hair, not opposite. Same thing on this side. Being careful. I have nicked her before and there's lots of blood involved. I lay my hand, the ear flap on my hand, and I just very gently use the clippers to get that extra hair off. Keep in mind, if you do mess up, it will grow back. And that looks pretty good. Some people leave them. On some of our dogs, we leave them. I take hers off. She doesn't really have long ones, so they come off. There's her head. Now, as far as her beard goes, I cleaned the beard up with the thinning shears, and I'll show that in just a little bit. I want to go ahead and show how I address her underside. I always stand her up. All of this needs to go. All this shaggy stuff needs to go, and I always use this. It's easy. And I just kind of very carefully shave that extra stuff off. Be careful. She's used to this, so that's why she's so well behaved. It might take a few times with your dogs if you do this. I try to get all that wispy hair off the underside as much as I can. I don't want to hurt her. Alright, now she does still have some in this area. I'm going to address in her chest. Under her legs a little bit. Her armpits. Oops. Stand up. Stand up. I'm trying to get this area right here. See how she's got a lot of hair in this area. So that's basically it for her head. I don't know with the clippers if you can tell how much I got off. Now what I like to do is I'll use either the Groom Ninja or my Magna, and I'll kind of brush out her beard a little bit just to get the dirt out, because she lives out in the kennels most of the time, so she's dirty. Want to get that out, get the knot, get the if she has any knots, tangles, that kind of thing. I want to see how it's grown out. And she's got a lot of uneven pieces. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some uneven pieces there. And I just go and kind of even everything out with my little scissors that have that round tip that I showed you in the first episode. And I just snip off those longer pieces and kind of groom it to the shape I like it. I don't want to take off too much, but I do want her to look manicured and pretty, because she's a pretty girl. Right, Shea? See, she's got some points over here, so I'm just going to snip those points off. Make her look nice and trimmed up. I like leaving a beard on them. I think they look cute. She's got some brown hair that grows right here. I'm going to address that in just a bit too. I like to remove that for the ring. Not necessary, but it's a preference. Now, if there's some hair that's growing in their eyes, in the corners of their eyes, I use these scissors to address that as well. And the razor doesn't always get this, so we like to clean their eyes up a little bit. And some of you have some dogs that, I know Silver Scout has this issue, I think, with a lot of growth right here. Just use these scissors and get this hair out of his eyes. Silver Scout lives in Fort Worth with Leslie and Damon Harvey. And she's the reason I'm doing this video, because she keeps asking, so I said, okay, I'll try. And I'm bored. Alright. So that looks pretty good. Oh, here's a long piece. Get that off. Now, the brown hair that grows right here, I use the thinning shears to get that out because I don't want a chunk of hair missing. These help because if you make a mistake, it doesn't really show like it would using regular scissors. And I just kind of do that until that brown hair is gone. And I know it's not dirty hair, it's her hair. She's always had that. Sometimes it might just be some dirt in their hair, but hers is her hair. She's always had a little bit of brown growth right there. And I just take it out. And there you have it. So that's her head. Now, I also mentioned she still has a lot of this stuff around this crease of her neck. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to go ahead and take that off with these thinning shears. I want the neck to look nice and smooth and long and lean. She has a nice neck. I want to show it off. I kind of roll it a little bit with my other hand just so I can see where that hair is sticking out. And I go both directions in this instance until I can get it down to the position it needs to be. Same thing on this side. Make sure you don't clip the ear. And I just keep doing this until she doesn't have that long. See, now I'm noticing some spots that I might have missed in previous groomings, and I'm going to go ahead and roll the coat with my stone when I'm done. That's what the stone is really nice for, is to address those spots that you may have missed. Now, this dog also has a lot of long hair around the edges of her ear. What I do is I pull that out with my fingers, and then I take those little scissors with the ball tip and I kind of just trace her ears, trim around the edges of her ears, and get all of that off. Be very careful. Anything that's long, doesn't belong, is cut off. Even on the inside, if the clippers miss some hair on the inside, I clean it up with these. Same thing over here. And there we have it. Now I notice I kind of got a little choppy right in this area with the clippers, so I'm going to take my stone and I'm going to roll her neck, and I'm seeing some longer pieces, and I'm just going to pull those out, pluck them out with my stone in my finger, so that it looks like a smooth transition from her head to her neck. You want a smooth transition so it doesn't look like you shaved the head the way I did. And I'm going to go ahead and roll the neck because I am seeing that she's got some longer pieces that need to be pulled out so that there's a nice blend in her coat and we don't have some choppy pieces. See, now I don't like these. I have some long pieces I'm seeing along her shoulders. I'm going to go ahead and roll that as well. She's getting out of the picture a little bit here. She's got some long pieces right in here in her shoulder area. If I pull it out and roll, I see it. So I'm just going to pluck it out with my stone. sloppy with the legs the other day. I think I need to address those again. But these are the kinds of things that you see from one grooming session to another, and you can address them as needed. Stand up. But here she is. She's not complete in my opinion, but she definitely has been groomed from head to toe. Well, I haven't done her nails yet, but I've done her head, her body, her tail, undercarriage, and her legs. And just looking at her like this, I can see some spots I still need to address. Another piece of advice is if you have a mirror, groom in front of a mirror, you get a better view of your dog. I've noticed doing these videos that I get to see her in the video, and I can find some spots that I wouldn't normally see, like that. I wouldn't normally see just doing this without a mirror or without the camera. But once you get to this point where you feel like you've completely groomed your dog, I would suggest that you roll their coat at least once a week, or once every 2 weeks using the stone, and keep it down as much as possible. The only time I really let it go is during the winter when I know it's a little bit colder outside. But other than that, here is River Bottom Shady Lady, and hopefully she'll get to go to Georgia. I hope that trial doesn't get canceled this year. Thanks.